Yo, this is Laser. Welcome to the Era of the J podcast.
Week number 3. It's your boy Joe.
Woo.
What a Super Bowl! I mean that was a great game. Let's just get right into this bitch. So, we got to talk about the Rams' game plan and how it sort of changed over the course of the game. So basically, the game starts off with both teams basically using the same strategy, which is that they're playing a lot of coverage in the back, not a lot of guys on the line, trying to shut down the star receivers, which is Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp. And what it looked like the Rams' game plan is, okay, the Bengals defense distracted by Kupp, we're going to go to OBJ. OBJ looks like he's ready to roll. Like, he wants the Super Bowl. Like, this is his time to shine in the postseason. So, the coverage is on Kupp. They pass it right to OBJ. They go to OBJ. He gets that first touchdown. Boom. Like, it looks like they're ready to fire.
Right, yeah, the funniest part about the OBJ dominating was, like, the pregame, like, before the game, Eli Apple was told the coaches, allegedly, that he told him, I should take OBJ. He's my former teammate. I know how to guard him. He's all like, let me take him. And then he goes in that game, and he absolutely blows. Like, OBJ is, like, running right past him.
We gotta talk about everyone trolling Eli Apple.
It was the funniest thing, and everyone was trolling
because
Eli Apple.
He shitted on everybody. He shitted on Lamar. He shitted on Lamar, right?
Yeah, of course. And then, the Ravens got him back in a half. It was the funniest thing.
Yeah, I think
like everyone, Rashad Bateman, Hollywood Brown.
Apple.
Right?
Rashad Bateman just tweeted an apple.
Hollywood Brown got in there. Lamar got in there. Everyone got in there and was straight up trolling him. It was awesome. It felt so sweet. Like, poor dude, but like at the same time, if you're gonna have the balls to say I'm taking OBJ, then like actually take him. Like if you suck at it, that's the risk when you say I want to take OBJ.
No, I don't appreciate cockiness like that at all. There's a fine line between confidence and cockiness.
You can have that confidence, but you got to back it up. Like this reminds me of like when Jalen Ramsey, when he was on the Jaguars, and the Jaguars had that run where they made it to the AFC Championship game. So basically, when they beat the Bills, and then they faced the Steelers, who in Pittsburgh, and they pull off the upset against Big Ben. And after that game, Jalen Ramsey's all hyped up. He's like, we're going to the Super Bowl, and we're gonna win that bitch. So it's like, it's fine, you can say that, but then you gotta back it up. If you don't, like, if you lose the next game, then we're all gonna troll you, and rightfully so.
Well, yeah, the thing's like some players are able to back it up. So like the legend of Larry Bird walking into the 3-point contest being like, okay, who's coming in second, doesn't even take off his sweater. Like, he can back it up, but Eli Apple can't. So if you can't back it up, you can be confident, but don't be cocky. Right. Only like goats get to be cocky because
exactly
they can do it. But anyway, back to the game. Right. So basically, then OBJ gets injured, and this is like a huge hit to the Rams. So the Rams sort of switch up their game, and so every second and third down, they're handing it off to Akers, trying to run it. That doesn't work. The Bengals had a great defense against the run.
Right. Like for some reason, they thought that they could just like once OBJ was out, that they can just take their replacement for OBJ and use him as the OBJ, like the number 2 guy that they'll treat as the number 1 because Cooper Kupp is taken. They use this guy Ben Skowronek, maybe?
Skowronek, I think.
Skowronek?
Yeah.
And, no, it wasn't working out because, like, Skowronek wasn't beating any coverage and didn't work out. Skowronek was not good enough. And, like, they tried, I felt like they relied on Skowronek way too much. It took them way too long to realize, like, Skowronek can't do it. Also, the Rams tight end, like their first string tight end, Tyler Higbee, was out before the game. Like I told you that if Higbee's out, take OBJ for the first touchdown, which he did. But Higbee was out, and Johnny Mon, their second string tight end, was out. So they relied on Bryson Hopkins, who was pretty good initially, but then after that, same thing as Skowronek, just couldn't take the load that OBJ was holding. Which basically their game plan was just trashed.
Right. So
what did Sean McVay do?
What? So basically at the end, so basically they got a field goal or whatever. They fall behind after that incredible pass to what was it? It was to Higgins, right? Yeah. So we'll have to talk about that call soon. But so Sean McVay says, okay, you know what? Like, fuck it, we're just gonna pass it to Cooper Kupp. That's it. Just break the coverage anyway. And then Matthew Stafford is throwing these like beauty passes, these like no look passes, these beautiful passes. I actually the NFL reposted the no look pass in slow mo. I loved watching it. It was beautiful thing to watch. Anyway, I'm going on too much over here. So Stafford throws amazing passes to Cooper Kupp, and then they end up winning the game.
To be fair, I feel like that was Stafford's only good pass the entire game. He did not have a good game.
Yeah, no, I don't think he had a great game. But then again, I attribute that to the Bengals defense. I think they did it. It's the same thing they did with Kansas City. I think they did an amazing job at shutting down the big receivers and heavily limiting the opposing defense, which heavily relies on passing to these receivers. Right. So the question is, why exactly did it take them so long to just go with Kupp? Because it seems like he was able to break the double coverage and get open anyway. But it took them a while before they were willing to take that risk, which should hurt them, because if Cooper Kupp did that in the end, like maybe he was really they should have just gone there before. Like once OBJ's out, and you tried your running game and it wasn't working, but they kept trying it again, and it just was so. And it wasn't that it was like not fun to watch. It was like the entire third quarter was just punting, punt. Like it was not fun to watch.
The secondary receivers nor the running backs could not handle it.
Right. So basically, Cooper Kupp won the game for them. I'm pretty sure he was the MVP, right?
Yeah, I don't know why though. We'll talk about Aaron Donald had the game.
Okay. So yeah,
I'm sorry.
Also, yeah. Okay. So. Right, so number one, Cooper Kupp. Number two, Aaron Donald stepping up at the end of the game. So at the beginning of the game, Joe Burrow was doing a great job of just getting the ball and just releasing it right away. And because going into the game was the O-line's going to be a huge issue. What are we going to do about the O-line? So for basically 2.5 quarters, 3.5 quarters, Burrow did a great job of getting the ball, release it right away, get the ball, release it right away. You're not waiting around you're not waiting around to find a huge pass to Chase, because then Aaron Donald's going to come rip right through. They were moving up the field, which was good.
By the way, Chase had a couple good catches, but for the most part, he was
shut down by the defense again. But the Bengals practically did the same to Cooper Kupp, except Cooper Kupp just at the end just said screw it and broke out of it.
I feel like the Bengals and the Rams had a very similar game plan, as they were going to go to the number 2, and it worked very well for the Bengals because their OBJ and T. Higgins didn't get hurt, and T. Higgins went off with 2 touchdowns and 100 yards.
Right, yeah, he had a great game. Well, excluding the call, which we'll have to get to. Yeah. But
right, exactly. Like eventually the shitty O-lines.
Right, yeah. So Aaron Donald basically wakes up and he says, "Okay, like this is it." And he has these. They in the third quarter, fourth quarter, they sacked Joe Burrow like 7 times.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
Von Miller as well also had a sick game.
Aaron Donald woke up and just
Von Miller also a couple sacks.
That was.
Those are all really created.
I think arguably Aaron Donald.
Those are really created by Aaron Donald just dominating the offensive line and being like occupying at least 2 blockers. If you want a legit shot of blocking, which will open a lane for Von Miller and others.
Right, so that's how it went in the beginning of the game. Sort of, they had like 2 guys on Aaron Donald, which opened it up for Von Miller, or whatever. But at the end of the game, Aaron Donald sort of woke up and figured out how to break the coverage and just sack Joe Burrow on that 4th and 1, which basically was he arguably could be the MVP here. Like I think he saved this team. He saved them. Like,
by the way, you know something weird?
The Rams won the Super Bowl with 2 good passes from Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald waking up.
Right.
It's 2 good passes from Matthew Stafford, excuse me, and then Aaron Donald waking up, and
By the way, you know something funny? Like I was just looking over the stats, like you were talking about the running game. Cam Akers had 13 attempts and only had 21 yards. You realize how pathetic that is.
No, again, I think the Bengals defense is heavily underrated. I think it's a great defense, and they
at the same time, it's not like Matthew Stafford was like trying his best.
Okay, so this is what you keep telling me.
He was doing them favors.
Telling me that. Every time the Bengals win, you tell me, the Titans beat themselves, the Chiefs beat themselves, the Rams beat themselves.
Well, they're all one-score games, and both the Titans and Chiefs are way more talented. So obviously they beat themselves because they had to stoop down to the Bengals level.
How many times do the Bengals get to be lucky bastards before you just admit that they are a talented team?
2 games. They got 2 games of
they got almost three.
No. Right, almost three.
Exactly. They almost had a freaking Super Bowl.
Yes.
Don't tell me they
So
just
do
lucky
you think?
guys.
Do you think the Rams had their A game?
Absolutely not.
You think the Chiefs had their A game? Second half.
The Chiefs should have had their A game, but they didn't.
They didn't. Do you think the Titans had their A game?
Oh, definitely not. But again,
so thank you. So why are you arguing with me?
No. Hold on. It's the playoffs, man. You're not. There's no. Don't. Okay. Do you think the Bengals deserve to be in the Super Bowl?
Deserve, yes, because they beat the other opponent.
But they don't really deserve to be there. They just got lucky
not.
because Ryan Tannehill shit himself, and then
Patrick
they also
Mahomes
got because Patrick Mahomes shit himself.
Fell asleep.
So you're telling me they're not real contenders?
Like the quote key by the NFL honors. Like Patrick Mahomes saw Joe Burrow's pregame suit. That sick the Dwayne the Rock Johnson get up that awesome suit, whatever it was that went viral. Like he saw that and then he just forgot how to play football. They showed Travis Kelce after Key made that joke, and Travis Kelce was so angry. It was the funniest thing.
Because you think the Bengals aren't really contenders? You don't think so?
I mean, next year,
if they're playing these teams at the top level, they're not going to win.
Yes, they play the Chiefs, they play the Bills, they play the Ravens healthy. It's over. They play the Chargers. Literally, they play the Chargers and they're sitting themselves.
Again, I'm going to stand by what I've been saying the past 3 weeks. There's something there. I believe in this team. I think they're only going to get better, and the Ravens should watch out for them, dude. They're only going to get better, man. You're forgetting Jamar Chase is a freaking rookie. He's a rookie.
And so was Saquon Barkley when he won Rookie of the Year. And what did Saquon Barkley do afterwards?
Oh, okay. So I'm not saying that means for sure. So I believe that he's gonna improve. Now it doesn't always work that way. I'll admit, but I don't think he's definitely not has hit his cap yet. Joe Burrow's in his second year. I mean, these guys are only getting better, and their defense. They have a good defense. I'm sorry, no matter what you tell me, they have a good defense.
I got a hot take for you. This is for TikTok. Let's go. So right now the Bengals just made it to the Super Bowl. They got all the hype. Jamar Chase won Rookie of the Year, and then there's the Lions who suck. And let's just go back to the draft. And it was the Bengals' turn to pick. They were picking like 4, like really really high, and everyone was like, okay, fine. So what does this team need? So receiver, they're pretty good. They got T. Higgins. They got Tyler Boyd. They're like stacked there. And then, so what do they need? They need a line. They have no one on their line. And they're like, whoa, there's like a really good tackle prospect, Penei Sewell. And he was like the generational. He was like really, really good. Everyone was saying, yo, take him. And the temptation of taking Joe Burrow's teammate, Jamar Chase, was too high, and they took Jamar Chase. And it looks like right now, like, oh, it was a big success. But if you think about it, like, why did they lose the Super Bowl? They lost the Super Bowl despite Jamar Chase. And they lost the Super Bowl because they had no line.
They wouldn't be there without Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase was the wrong pick. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Sorry, no.
T. Higgins is a beast. I'm sorry.
You're telling me that Joe Burrow with T. Higgins and Boyd plus an O-line wins the Super Bowl?
Well, I'm saying You
just told me they're not even contenders, bro.
I'm saying they make it. Could be possibly. The reason why they're not contenders is because they're getting sacked. They got sacked 9 times against the Titans. That's not excusable. They shouldn't. No one wins games when getting sacked 9 times. I'm sorry. I think that without Jamar Chase, if they drafted another mid-round receiver or signed a veteran receiver with T. Higgins and with Tyler Boyd, I think they would have been better than they are now with Jamar Chase. That's my hot take.
Very hot take. I think they still have time. I'm not taking it. They still have time to improve their O-line and still have Jamar Chase. Are they going to have an amazing O-line? No. I mean, they'll make some adjustments.
Dude, getting to the Super Bowl is hard. It took them a lot to get there. It took Tannehill throwing 3 picks and Mahomes to just die, to just like maybe Jackson Mahomes took over as quarterback. We don't know. That's not something that's going to happen to Mahomes again. So it took him an incredible amount of karma to get there. So I don't know. So will that ever happen again? I don't know. And if he had that line, he probably would have won that game. I don't think Jamar Chase did anything that was that crazy that then an average guy couldn't. I mean, like, if you have T. Higgins as the number 1, they could have probably done something similar. I think if you have a good quarterback, you can win with B+ or A- receivers. You don't need that.
Oh, for sure. But again, if they have an alpha receiver, and if they make some adjustments to their own,
they have the alpha, and then they lost because they didn't have an O-line.
So you're telling me the beta receiver and a good O-line is better?
What? With good receivers, not amazing. Think about like last year. Last year, the Chiefs, they had Tyreek Hill, who was an A+ receiver, but they had no O-line, and then they lose the Super Bowl. Like, this is a thing that happens. Like, I'm sorry, if you have a really good quarterback with B+ to A- with a B+ to A- receiver and a really, really good O-line. You're probably better than the good quarterback with an A+ receiver and a crappy O-line.
It's a trade-off. So I don't know for sure what would happen if they would have, let's say, done things that way.
I believe they win the Super Bowl.
Okay. It's a trade-off. I think, they're a young team. They're only getting better. Make some adjustments to the O-line, and you will see. I believe in these guys. I think they have a ton of potential.
But again, the Bengals ownership is not rich. I don't think they could afford spending that much on the line. And very possibly they're like, look, we made the Super Bowl. Let's just keep it. Let's keep the squad as they are.
No way. Because you don't have enough juice in that team to win the Super Bowl.
But the thing is Bengals ownership is not. They aren't that aggressive, and like they're probably only really in it for the money. So like,
oh my god.
I'm sorry, like they're not.
No, I mean this team. Team did not. They had juice. The gas got them right to the finish line, but then it couldn't cross. All you need to do is add a little bit of gas, and boom, you're there. Right.
But they're not the Tishes. They don't have the money to afford a big line, and they got
to do something, man.
They're not the best at drafting either.
My only problem with the team is the O-line. Everything else is solid.
They've been fucking awful for so long. So I don't know if I trust them to take to do the finishing touches.
I was listening to the radio today. I was listening to Felger and Maz. First of all, I fucking hate those guys. But it's so much shit. But they're like, oh, okay. So I don't even know why these guys watch football. Like they fucking hate everyone. They're like, yeah, Mac Jones sucks. Joe Burrow sucks. Matthew Stafford's mediocre. Whatever. So anyway, they said that like. They said that like, oh, they don't think the Bengals are too far away from the Patriots. And I was just thinking like, no. But I'm sorry. I don't think Mac Jones and Jacoby Myers are even in the same league as Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I think there's just so much talent there. And again, these guys are young. Mac Jones is also young, but these guys are young, getting better. And I really don't count them out of the AFC next year. Even with Buffalo and Kansas City. I believe in this team. I could be wrong. I was wrong about the Super Bowl, although not by much. Not by much. And dude, if you would have picked the Bengals for the spread, you still would have won.
Well, I won on almost all of my props. Come on, guys. You gotta listen to the pod and make money with my props.
I believe in this team. I believe that they will contend the AFC for a while. They can compete. You tell me it's all luck.
Just the way the NFL works is teams that lose the Super Bowl usually go on a downfall, like a hard downfall. Like look at the Falcons. Like the Rams the next year sucked. They could maybe in 2 years they rebounded and like they got Stafford and whatever. But I'm saying like right after that same team sucked the next year. Right? The Falcons sucked the next year. The Panthers were never really the same. Like. You get to that point where you're at the Super Bowl, and if you fail at winning, then it just all goes to shit.
I'm not necessarily. Again, I think first of all, again, the Bengals are a really young team. I don't think these other teams were that young.
The Rams were pretty young. The Panthers were like this is like Cam Newton's prime. Yeah. But like regardless, who cares how young they are? It doesn't change.
No, but not like prime. Like this is their second year, dude.
Okay.
Like they're not even like fully in like the sea of the NFL. Like they're still getting wet.
Yeah, no one. But right, we'll have tape and then they'll be shut down. I'm sorry. I think it's still the Ravens division. The AFC North. Oh my god,
dude.
Sorry, and the Chiefs still rule the AFC and the Ravens still rule the AFC North. I'm sorry, Bengals. This was a fluky year.
Oh, it was a fluke year.
How is it not a fluke year?
Oh, because Lamar was in.
What was not fluky about this year?
What? You're telling me again. I just want to get this shit. You think the Bengals Super Bowl one was just a fluke? It was just
the entire season was a fluke.
A fluke.
Joe Burrow lost to freaking Mike White. Mike White.
Bro. Do not tell me that beating the Chiefs twice was a fluke.
I'm sorry, it's a fluky thing. That's not something that happens. It just isn't.
You don't fluke like 5 games in a row. You don't fluke.
Okay.
Fluke against Kansas City. Fluke against Tennessee. Fluke against
six years from now. We're gonna look back at this year. And we're going to be like, what the hell? Like, why were the Bengals in this? I'm telling you, it's just
this is just like a random, like, just
like a casual fan is going to look back at the last 6 years and they'll be like, okay, fine. Broncos make sense. Patriots make sense. What were the Falcons doing there? What were the Panthers doing there? That's just how they'll look at it. Just in the same way we'll be saying, what were the Bengals doing there?
That's not the same though. Like the Broncos now are a different club than they were when they were Super Bowl. They're not the same club.
Well, I didn't say the Broncos.
What?
The Panthers were the same for a while afterwards. and they weren't that good. They had like a couple like good years here and there, but nothing special like that year. The year they went 15-1.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what the precedent for this is. You have to lose a Super Bowl and then you start sucking.
No, it happens. What happens is once you make it to the top, where you can taste it, and then you lose it all. You just lose it all. The amount that you have to hype yourself up to get there again is a lot, and most teams, especially teams that are keeping their band together, it takes the amount of stress, or the amount of buildup that is required. They can never meet there, and they just fall off. And especially the year after, especially next year, don't count on them to even make the playoffs. I mean, they most likely will, but don't count on it. I'd say 11-6 type of season.
I mean, you're saying sort of like a momentum thing, which I won't deny it. I mean,
just look at every other.
I hear that. I'm not going to deny it. But I still believe in these guys.
Even the Chiefs, even the star-studded Chiefs, they come in this year and they had absolute shit start. Their start sucked, and it's obvious where that came from. Look at everything. The Niners.
Right, first of all, they bounced right back.
The Niners missed the playoffs.
The Chiefs.
But that's like the God squad of teams, and it took them half a season to bounce back. And then look at the Niners.
And you don't think the Bills are going to have the same problem after that game?
Bills?
Yeah.
No, it's a divisional game. It's not that. I mean, no, I think Josh Allen has more poise than Joe Burrow.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
He's done it. He's been there. Lamar will be back. Don't worry. They have the drive. They have a lot more of a drive to make it to the Super Bowl than the Bengals.
I don't like, again, this is the same problem I have with the Mac Jones. Is everyone's passing judgment on these guys. It's too early. These guys.
No one's passing judgment. They could totally. I just don't think it's happening. I just don't think it's happening. It could. I just don't think it's happening. I could be wrong.
I'm a little more optimistic than that. These guys are young, man. Just wait.
Yeah, just wait.
I'm not writing them off.
3 years ago, 3 years from now, when they're a totally different team, and Zach Taylor is gone. Yes, thank you.
No,
if the owner doesn't,
same thing to say about Mac Jones, dude. He's a rookie.
If the owner doesn't pull off something big and reshape that O-line, they're in trouble. And even if they do, I don't have enough confidence in the Bengals to count them to be in it next year. I think Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, and then if anyone trades for Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson in the AFC, they're also ahead. Possibly the Browns even bounce back. Titans could bounce back. I don't know who the Colts are going to get at QB but if they get someone good enough, they'd probably also bounce back. Right. The Chargers for sure. Watch. Oh yeah,
I'd watch out for the Chargers.
Yeah, that's already we don't know about the Patriots even. It's a loaded AFC. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm putting them in the top tier. I think right now it's reserved Chiefs, Bills, Ravens.
Okay, fair enough. I definitely think they're second tier and they can compete with those guys.
They're second tier,
and they can compete with those guys.
I don't know. They're the second.
When it's going to come down to the postseason, they can compete with those guys.
I trust the Titans more. I trust the Colts with a Matthew Stafford type quarterback.
Assuming that the Titans dump Tannehill.
No, they're not.
So just relying on Derrick Henry, you trust the Titans more than the Bengals?
No, I trust Tannehill to be stable. I don't think he's a guy who throws 3 picks. That's not him.
We'll have to see, bro. Future of the AFC.
But yeah, I just want to say something else about the Super Bowl. I think that was the most star-studded attendance at a football game of all time.
Well, it's in freaking LA, dude.
Let's just talk about it. It's the list of some guys that I happened to see, like Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes, Doja Cat, J-Lo and Ben Affleck were there. Kanye, of course, was there with Antonio Brown and Lamar Jackson. Russell Wilson was there. Cardi B was there with Offset, which is funny because Cardi B was talking about how when she was invited to do the halftime show. And she was like, she told the NFL that she's not doing it. Oh yeah, Offset really wants to go to Super Bowl, but we're not going to do it because we need to stand for Kaepernick. All of a sudden, a couple years later, they're there chilling at the game, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Eminem didn't forget about it, man. Eminem has not forgotten.
We'll talk about that later. Don't worry, we'll get there. But yeah, Cardi B all of a sudden, just I wouldn't be surprised if she's doing a Super Bowl in a couple of years, and she's there, and she just forgot about Cap.
You missed LeBron.
It's
LeBron was there.
LeBron, yeah, of course, LeBron,
Shaq,
The Weeknd, Drake, Ty Dolla $ign. Oh yeah, of course, Shaq. Jay-Z was there. Of course, The Rock. He did the intro.
That was a sick intro. Also, did you know he did? Did you notice he did the eyebrow thing right at the
of
beginning?
course.
Let's go.
But yeah, that was star-studded. But yeah, but all of a sudden Cardi B just backing up like the song "Forgot About Dre." So I guess Cardi B should make a song "Forgot About Cap." But yeah, just about the game also. So the game averaged 112 million views, which is way more than last year's Super Bowl, 97 million views. And I think there's an obvious reason, because it's not about the game itself. Because I guess the Rams were in LA, but there's not the Super Bowls that average the most views are the ones with villains. Like if the Patriots are in it, or the Chiefs are in it, or like the teams that are villains. This Super Bowl had no villains.
I had two heroes.
As opposed to last year where it was two villain teams, Chiefs, Bucks. And that's why they had 97 million. This year had 112. And I think the main reason why we all know it's a freaking halftime show, which was just for crazy.
No, it's the Lions fans, man. The Lions fans.
Of course, no. And I think that this year's halftime show, if you combine the star power, the nostalgia, the performance, the production, the set,
all the boomers were.
If you combine everything, I think this was the greatest halftime show of all time. Just look at the star power in this. There was Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, or whatever, 75 Cent. For those on Twitter, get that. Mary J. Blige, of course. Anderson .Paak on the drums. That was such an awesome moment. Anyone who could pick that out, just saying Anderson .Paak, just so happy on those drums. Eminem killed it. Kendrick Lamar, I was laughing the entire time. That was such a sick performance. Just the nostalgia effect there, combined with how good they were just awesome. That performance by 50 Cent, where he was just upside down. He's 50 years old and can still do a headstand, the flip.
Someone memeified that into the Spider-Man,
yeah, exactly.
Spider-Man.
And also the big meme on Twitter was 50 Cent waiting for Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre's set to be ready, and his veins are popping out and his head's all purple. Yeah, how did they time that? I mean, that must have hurt his head. But yeah, that was just that was awesome. That In the Club performance, that remake was sick. 50 Cent did an amazing job. Speaking of amazing jobs, the vocals by Mary J, which were just awesome. Another awesome meme when Mary Jane was just on the floor fainting, that type of thing. The amount of memes from that, talking about yo, everyone's aunt. Yeah, that was awesome. Oh, and then also, yeah, Kendrick Lamar, as I said, were just hysterical. It was awesome. We were just so him. It was just so awesome. He had the shout out to Virgil Abloh, R.I.P. with the suit from his last clothesline. Also, Eminem was just, my opinion, the best performance. That was just awesome when he exploded on the stage and everyone just gathered around him. You just lose yourself. He had a sick performance. It was awesome. And then the set, of course, the 50 Cent, the remake of his music video, the club set, and then everything in whole, and the houses, the whole concept, the houses and the cars, just everything was just sick. It was just awesome, awesome representation of Compton, awesome everything. There was just Dr. Dre was awesome, Snoop Dogg was awesome, everyone was just awesome. And I'm sorry, all the other ones that everyone's oh, this can't be Michael Jackson, oh, this can't be Prince. I'm sorry, Michael Jackson was great and all, but there was no set, there was no good set. It was just him dancing. It was awesome and all, but it was iconic. But at the same time, it did not have the set, it did not have the effects that this one did, and it had the star power of all these guys combined could maybe equal MJ. Prince also was great, but there was just no production. It was just him playing guitar. There was nothing special about this. There was no, you didn't have to work with a bunch of other people. It was just him doing his own thing. So it would took a lot less for it to make it work. So I would put this over Prince even. And U2 also was just, it was the timing that made it so big, because it was right after 9/11 and showing the USA jacket and all that. But it didn't have the star power that this did. It didn't have people watching it because oh, U2's doing it. Yeah, so to me, The Weeknd was my personal favorite because I love The Weeknd. But I think this, in terms of everything I'd mentioned, in terms of the star power, in terms of the nostalgia, in terms of the production, the set, everything, the performances, I think this was the greatest halftime show of all time. And yeah, this all the Karens hate it probably. Think they hate
cover your kids' ears.
Black people doing the gang symbols, but at the end of the day, this is the wave of the future. This is why they brought Jay-Z in.
Yes, it's
these type of guys.
It is not for the hardcore Christians. We should apologize to them.
Yep. I'm sorry. Maybe a super pop like Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift type will do it next year. But this year was for the hip hop culture, and it's one of many. Hopefully, I hope Drake gets one in a couple of years. Hope Drake in Vegas. Let's go. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the halftime show. Onto the Kyler Murray situation. That was crazy.
I mean, I was just shocked by that. I mean, I'm not sure. First, okay, so I'm not sure
for those who don't know what happened. Basically, so like last week, randomly, Kyler Murray on Instagram, he just took off all of his pictures of him in Cardinals gear, him with the Cardinals. The only pictures he left were him at the Pro Bowl and him as a Sooner, like winning the Heisman. And he unfollowed the Cardinals on Instagram. And everyone's like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, what's happening? Is he getting traded? Is he demanding to get traded? Like, what the hell? And then the Cardinals did the same to him. They unfollowed him also. We were just like, what the fuck is happening? So basically, then we learned what happened. Basically, the Cardinals were blaming. They felt that Kyler Murray was too like immature. Was too selfish. wasn't really stepping up as a leader, and they were blaming him for that loss. It happened to be Kyler Murray's worst game. I don't know if it's all his fault, but I felt like that was Kyler Murray's worst game of his career. It did not go well for him, for sure. But they were blaming him. They said he needs to take more of a leadership role, and they were blaming him for that loss, which Kyler Murray did not like. The Cardinals brought up an instance where this is the Cardinals teammates. They brought up an instance where Colt McCoy was gonna go in. He's like, "Yo, Kyler Murray, you can finish this," and Kyler Murray was like, "No, I'm done. Take it." Like that type of instance that just ticked all the Cardinals like players off, which started this whole fight. And yeah, it looks like the Cardinals are saying no, he's still our future guy. We still want him back. I don't know if Kyler Murray wants to be back. I don't know. He claims he's not that guy. He doesn't want no smoke. But like, I don't know. This could lead to something big. Like if the Texans are like, yo, we'll give you Deshaun and 2 firsts, give us Kyler Murray. Like, I don't know how you could say no to that.
I mean, where do you think Kyler Murray wants to go?
Where? Well, I mean, probably to somewhere where he can like just ease in, like sick, star-studded weapons, like a veteran head coach, like with leadership there, so he doesn't have to like similar to like Herbert has like Joey Bosa as a leader and Keenan Allen as a leader, where he doesn't really have to do much in terms of leadership, or just like it's more of a chill for him. I think like Kyler Murray would want that. So like maybe if Aaron Rodgers leaves the Green Bay, maybe Tampa Bay also is a very very veteran team. I feel like those would be really good fits. He wants like a veteran team where he does not have to lead, I would think. Because I don't know if he's such a good natural leader. I
mean, I think again, I think the Cardinals are also a good team. They had a rough stretch at the end of the season.
They're a good team. There's no voice. There's no vocal voice in the locker room. D Hop's is not the vocal of a guy, and JJ Watt, to be honest, to be fair, isn't really in the locker room because he's always hurt. But yeah. Yeah, nothing's really going to come out of this probably. He's probably going to still be the Cardinals quarterback. I don't know, the extension talks are going to be weird and controversial. But at the end of the day, Kyler Murray will probably stay a Cardinal. But this type of frustration is a red flag for Cardinals fans. If I was a Cardinals fan, I would be worried. And if I was the Cardinals organization, I would make sure to help him out.
This is probably going to come up again.
Of course. These things always come up again. Right. Also, speaking of quarterbacks unhappy, I hope there were some rumors about Lamar being unhappy. I don't think they're true. I think like the next day he was in an interview and he was backing up. He was like, "Yo, I play for the Ravens. I love the Ravens." Bro, I'm hoping that's his vibe and not the vibes that people are trying to present.
The Ravens are stacked, man. I'm not going to deny it.
And it's on his terms. The contract extension is on his terms because he has no agent, so it's him negotiating it. So it's the ball's in his court.
Bro, I mean, I could see them.
And it's about time he freaking gets the extension done.
They're a full health or easy run to the AFC Championship game.
But it just makes me nervous that they haven't gotten the extension done yet. I feel like it's about time they got to get something done.
Maybe we'll see Antonio Brown in a Ravens jersey.
Yeah, it looks like no one wants him on the team except for Lamar and of course his cousin. But Lamar's been hanging out with him. It was really funny because they asked when Drake and Kanye put out their 2 albums like back to back. So the reporters asked him, like, yo, Drake or Kanye, which album was better? And Lamar's like, Drake, I I don't even listen to Kanye. No offense to him. And then like by the Super Bowl, all of a sudden he's like hugging Kanye and chilling with him and AB. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I was just like, okay, Lamar, pick one. But yeah, speaking of Kanye,
Team Kanye or Team Kim, bro?
Yeah, Kanye really stole. He stole Super Bowl Sunday. He was trending over the Super Bowl.
Did you see this Captain America Civil War meme?
Of course, yeah, that's awesome. He was trending over the Super Bowl for the entirety of the
honestly, I picked Team Kanye. You got Travis Scott there, like I'm picking Travis Scott over like Pete Davidson and Taylor Swift.
But yeah, for those who need a quick briefing of what happened with Kanye, basically, I'm gonna try to say this as quickly as possible. Kim wanted a divorce from Kanye, and then right after Kim starts dating Pete Davidson, Kanye gets super pissed about this, obviously. So he finds a different. So he's super pissed. He's saying, "I want my family back." He's giving references in concerts, and then he gets his own girlfriend, Julia Fox.
They broke up after like a month, dude.
Right, we'll get there. Meanwhile, that's beef number one. Beef number two is after the Travis Scott Astroworld incident, where at his concert, 10 people died of asphyxia, which is like suffocation. Billie Eilish, at her concert, like recently, she said she gave a fan an inhaler. Her fan was struggling for breath, and she gave him an inhaler. And then she had a shot at Travis with, which I felt was really dirty.
I thought that was a low blow, dude.
Sorry, it's not Travis's fault. I'm sorry, he didn't kill anyone. It wasn't.
Why is everyone? It's like this is the stupidest shit.
When you're on stage, it's extremely hard to actually understand what's going on in the crowd. And it's up to Live Nation to alert him, like, yo, you gotta stop. It's up to security. If they don't alert you, you don't stop.
I mean, what was it? Billie Eilish just like every singer should just like go with like a bag of inhalers, being like,
yeah, like what the fuck?
Here are some inhalers, bro. Yeah, I really don't like.
Or she and her bitchy self decided like, yo, I actually stopped my shows for my fans.
God. It was a low blow. It was like it was so virtue signaling.
Right.
Just like
So basically, Kanye was at. So Kim had a birthday party for Kanye's kid, and Travis had a birthday party for his kid. At the same place, and they didn't invite Kanye. So Kim didn't want Kanye there because he was afraid that Kanye would do something harmful to Pete Davidson. But
which is quite possible,
quite fair. Right, but Travis gave Kanye the address. So now Travis and Kanye are all buds, of course, because two goats. And then so basically, yeah. So Kanye on Instagram right after this Billie Eilish situation. Kanye took over for Travis at Coachella because Travis Scott was removed from Coachella because of the whole Astroworld incident. So Kanye told Billie Eilish, like, I'm not going to perform at Coachella unless you apologize. Come on, that was a dirty shot. You know he's struggling. It's not right.
Also, because like the media also put this on him.
Right. Like what the fuck?
I get it. Like these days, safety is a big deal. Everyone's into safety. You know, we got to be safe from COVID. We got to be safe from everything. Right. I get it. But, like, don't pin it on Travis, dude.
Right. You got it. Like, no. It feels like everyone's so desperate to find a bad guy. And no, I'm sorry.
Like, sometimes Travis Scott is not a danger to society.
Right. Sometimes there just isn't a bad guy.
I mean, okay, so he should make a public statement. Whatever.
It's I'm sorry to hear, but not I'm sorry
I'm sorry that this happened on my turf. Right. Not that this is my fault. It's not his fault.
Whatsoever. But... yeah, so Kanye demanded Billie Eilish apologizes, and he's like, yeah, of course Travis is going to perform with me at Coachella, which is awesome, because Travis got offered to headline for free, and Coachella's like, nah, we're kicking you out. And then Kanye's going to bring out Travis Scott, because Kanye's a legend. But he demanded Billie Eilish apologizes, and then Billie Eilish, in her bitchy self, is like, no, I didn't mean it as attack at Travis. I just meant like we should be safe or like some shitty excuse.
You think Billie Eilish is ever going to apologize?
That was a freaking shot. I'm sorry.
Dude, Billie Eilish will never fucking apologize for any. Like, you think Billie Eilish is going to be like, I was wrong? This is never going to happen, bro.
But that's the beef with Kanye and Billie Eilish. And then,
we got Taylor Swift on Team Kim just for old time's sake.
Now, all right. So we're going back. So now we're going back. So Kid Cudi and Kanye, they have beef, but then they made up and they're friends now. Then, Kid Cudi is friends with Pete Davidson, and I guess Kanye asked Kid Cudi to just give me some just back me up and say something about how you're not friends with Pete or whatever. And Kid Cudi's like, nah. So basically, Kanye put out a statement. He's like, yeah, I'm leaving Kid Cudi off of my new album Donda 2 because he's friends with you know who. And in parentheses, he says we're speaking in Billie Eilish language now. And
bro, okay, you gotta admit, Kanye's being hella toxic and he's super unstable.
of course, because what happened was right. So after Julia Fox is like, yo, I just hustled you, and right after you gave me all these Birkin bags by my birthday, I'm done with you. And he was just like, okay, I'm stuck. And then he's like, great, I'm open, and he needed Kim, and he went off on Instagram. He went off.
Bro,
like,
he made a TikTok. You know he has a TikTok now, dude?
Actually, because he was like banning it. It's funny. But yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I gotta double check.
I don't think he does. I don't think he would.
I'm pretty sure I saw. I gotta reach
But
out.
you're right. So he's roasting Pete Davidson, calling Pete Davidson Hillary's boyfriend, which I find hysterical.
No, I mean, he's running for president,
like
bro.
posting pictures of Pete Davidson running around in boxers, and Kanye's like, dude, get this fucker away from my kids. He wants his family back, rightfully so. It's supposed to be a split custody, not Kim like holding them captive.
Kim's gonna file a freaking restraining order on this guy.
But yeah, he had a crazy day. He was going nuts. It's like roasting Pete Davidson, destroying Pete Davidson.
He's so unstable right now.
And he took his kids to the Super Bowl, which is awesome for him. And then OBJ gave Kanye his gloves like before the game, because OBJ's a legend like that. And he hung out with Lamar and AB, and it was just awesome. It was good for him. I feel bad for him. He's going through a tough time. He has a disorder, bipolar, and he is a legend. He is one of the greatest musical geniuses of all time. I strongly believe that. And
Kanye for president.
Can't wait for his new album. And I hope he buys the Broncos. Him in the NFL would be sick.
Is he running for president in 2024?
I doubt it. I don't think it's the right time.
Didn't you say it's his like God-given duty?
Yeah, but it's not happening. I don't think it's happening.
I believe God is calling.
I don't know. Hopefully he gets a halftime show. Hopefully him and Drake together, a halftime show would be sick. But yeah, hopefully he buys the Broncos. That would be the craziest team. He would be so toxic, and that would be awesome. He would just like randomly trade everyone. It would be so sick.
I mean, I don't know how much of the team he would own. He would own like most of it.
Enough to make decisions. But yeah. I think that's
gonna be like, is there really a new thing like celebs owning like football teams? Like,
yeah, it's a thing. It's already a thing in the NBA. Dwayne Wade owns a team.
I mean, he's a player though. It's like Derek Jeter like owns the Marlins.
A-Rod owns
Kanye.
A-Rod owns a team.
Kanye doesn't know how to run a football team.
No, I mean whatever. All of his guys, I don't know. He'll be.
Thing is like it's like
you don't need to be an expert in football to be like 5 firsts for Aaron Rodgers.
I don't want it to be like a new thing. Like Olivia Rodrigo like buys the Panthers. Like no,
maybe in 20 years when she's half relevant. But yeah, I think you don't have to be an NFL genius to be like, yo, Packers 5 firsts and like my entire team for Aaron Rodgers.
He would do that. I can see like he'll just like be in the mood.
All right, he'll just get pissed at the entire team.
And then like the next day he'll be like, oh shit. Like
yeah. It's like all the Jerry Judy will be his Kim Kardashian. He'll be like, yo, I need you back. Yo, and Aaron Rodgers will be done with Denver. I'll make a Civil War graphic. Yeah, we got it.
Yo, Aaron Rodgers and Kanye, that'd be sick together.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome. Oh, they should just change their name from the Broncos to the
Aaron Rodgers should be Kanye's vice president.
He should hire Donald Trump as GM and then have Aaron Rodgers. Oh, that would be so awesome. That would be a sight to see. Ben Shapiro as head coach. Ben Shapiro as head coach. Donald Trump as GM and Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. Joe Rogan's offensive coordinator.
Yo, let's go. I want to see Kanye Rodgers.
Yeah, Goodell would not be able to handle it. Oh, I forgot about the halftime show. Eminem kneeling. What do you feel about that controversy?
That's a loaded topic, dude.
I'm not asking you about kneeling. What do you feel about the NFL allowing it? Do you think it was the right move for them?
I'm confused.
Yeah, the initial reports were that they didn't allow it, but per Dr. Dre and per Rap, or Ian Rappaport, they did.
I wasn't surprised
okay
at all. Like Eminem's opinions about this are pretty transparent. So
it's pretty funny.
It's not
he kind of was forced to, because like he said a lot of gay slurs when he was younger. He said a lot of racist stuff when he was younger. Because back then they were.
He has to like repent now.
Well, he wouldn't be accepted by society unless he went full out like he did.
Why? Okay, I mean I don't really like that. But he has to repent in order to be accepted.
Not repent. It's just like. You're not going to be mainstream if you're that.
He is mainstream.
He was mainstream.
There's not anyone needed him to do that.
I feel like
what
for his
changed
career,
after he did that?
I feel like his first career he needed to. He didn't have the market that he had before. Like Tom McDonald is the least mainstream guy out there.
Well, they're not going to get him for the Super Bowl because they would get shut down.
All right,
If
but
they got him.
I'm saying he's not mainstream. The reason why he's not mainstream is because
What is his connection to Eminem?
What? None. He's like a copy.
Oh, okay. Except his songs are like the exact opposite on the political spectrum.
Right, but they really aren't in terms of how Eminem was when he was younger. He kind of as he matured, he changed his opinions. But
well, I mean, right, and now you're saying he did this to be accepted.
I think
is that why he changed his opinions?
I think I'm not. I don't know. I can't speak for him and why he changed his opinions, but I think he kind of had to career wise.
Right, I don't think he had to kneel. I don't think it was necessary.
I don't think he had to kneel. No, but he wanted to do something special. His initial idea was to pop his dick out and have a nice little wardrobe malfunction.
Like Nipplegate 2.0.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. They're probably joking, but in the pregame, the press conference with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, they were talking about it. Dr. Dre said that he had to convince Eminem not to pop out his dick.
Oh, by the way, I was gonna tell you, Snoop Dogg did smoke a joint before the show.
Right.
So just clearing that up.
No, but still, if you bet it on him not smoking a blunt, I think you won. I think you won that bet. So yeah, props to me. You're welcome. But yeah, I think that's all I really have to talk about. No.
Let's see, coaching. Oh yeah, I was going to ask you one more thing. What do you think about the Brian Flores to the Pats?
Brian Flores working there?
Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
I heard someone suggest it. I mean, okay, obviously no, but like if they would just like get rid of all the beef and just do it.
I don't.
If they would just rise above all the beef there and just do that, like, what do you think?
I don't know. I feel like a team should be strong enough, and a team should be able to get him as a head coach. He deserves a head coaching job. He does not deserve the indignity of having anything less. I think he's a top 5 head coach if he was there. I think these guys like Ben Shapiro, like claiming that like, oh, he was released because he sucked. Like, what are you doing, Ben Shapiro? Like, you're trying to sound like you never watched football? Because like, no, he was a really good head coach. He was a really good head coach.
That I can't stand about today is everybody has to have a fucking opinion about everything.
Right.
It's like the actor has to tell you like about like who to vote for, and like the podcaster about politics has to tell you how to run your sports league, and the sports league has to tell you how to run your politics. It's like, or like Coca-Cola has to tell you like all their politics. Like, everyone would just stay in your own fucking lane and like just move on with your life, right? There's no why does everything have to be like everyone's always down each other's throats all the time, and it's like society's like at war. It's like I can't fucking stand it, man. I'm like, God. But
yeah, I don't think Brian.
You're saying Flores should insult for anything less than head coach?
Of course, that's what he deserves. Like the same way that Andy Reid and Bill Belichick won't. I'm not saying he's Andy Reid and Bill Belichick yet, but I'm saying he was a top tier head coach. He was really, really good. And before he got fired, everyone was shocked when he got fired. And he's a really, really, really awesome head coach. And I think he deserves a second shot at least. I don't think he's getting it. Hopefully, he gets paid through his lawsuit instead. I don't know if this was the best decision career-wise, but if he feels the sacrifice is worth it because he'll raise more awareness, which he has. Joe Biden mentioned it, which I think is probably the biggest microphone.
No one's listening to Joe Biden, man. No one's listening to Joe Biden. One more thing I want to ask you is, do you think Matthew Stafford is going to make the Hall of Fame?
Oof. Maybe eventually, but like a fringe guy. I don't think he's like a first ballot or anything near that.
He's not a first ballot? You don't think so?
Not second, third, fourth. Like he might be like a fringe guy. Like there's no one in the class that really should make it. So they're like, fuck it, Stafford, you're in. I don't know if he's I
don't know. I mean, I think it's a little unfair. He was stuck in Detroit for a while.
Okay, man, it's not fair, but it doesn't make a difference. Like, it's also not fair to all the draft busts who went to Detroit and sucked. It's not fair, but the reality is you were there and you didn't have a Hall of Fame career. So fuck you. I'm sorry.
Okay, so like that's the thing. Like, do you necessarily have to have a Hall of Fame career, or you do have to stand out?
You need a stand out in history. So
right.
He did it, but not really. So he'll be a late ballot.
Okay, fair enough. I guess.
Late ballot guy.
Big Poppy first ballot. Let's go.
I think that's everything we have to talk about.
Yeah. All right. So
that was a loaded podcast. Let's go, everyone. Oh, the shout outs.
We got some shout outs. We said everyone retweeted our podcast. We got a shout out.
So
let's go.
Here we go. First guy is Andrew Carr at Andrew_Carr1. Awesome guy. Please make sure to follow hit him up. I think he tweets about like politics and like sports. Yeah, make sure to hit him up. Follow him. Like all his shit. Retweet his shit. You know. Wizards. Next account. Wizards. Parentheses 25 and 30, which is their current record. I'm assuming that he changes his Twitter handle every time the Wizards win or lose, which I feel like he'll be doing that a lot more for the loss side, especially after the trade deadline. Beal out and Porzingis, I don't even know when he's going to come in, and they traded a ton at the deadline. So, like, yeah, sorry, Wizards. I mean, it's probably worth it. You tank, you get a really high draft pick, and then you have Beal, Porzingis, and this really high draft pick. So it might be worth it at the end. Fine. So Wizards, parentheses, their current record, and is at season SZN_Wizards. He's a Wizards fan, Ravens fan, let's go. Orioles fans, let's go. Capitals fan. Okay? If you like those teams, then follow him, retweet him, like him. Next guy is my boy Purcell. He's a Broncos fan, Avalanche, Clippers fan. Also, he's a Mike Purcell stan. That at Mike Purcell stan is his at. Yeah, if you're a Broncos fan, if you want a fan of Aaron Rodgers' future team, if you're an Avalanche
You're
fan,
saying that with lost certainty, dude.
if you like, I'm kidding, Aaron. If you like the depressing effects of being a Clippers fan, if you want to see his reactions, you got that too. Sorry, Purcell, but yeah, follow follow Purcell, like all stuff, retweet his stuff. Next is sub to my YouTube, so it's SUB to my YT. Is O-smooth_0, I think something like that. He's a Lakers fan and a Ravens fan. Let's go Ravens flock. If you're a fan of the Ravens, which you should be, a fan of the Lakers, which you shouldn't be. R.I.P. Russell Westbrook. If you're a fan of those two teams, then follow him, like him, retweet him. Also, TTB at TTB_Ravens. His bio says talks about everything Ravens. Of course, my guy, Lamar, MVP, Super Bowl next year. Let's do it. So subscribe to his YouTube, TTB Ravens Media. Follow him, retweet his stuff, like his stuff, the usual. Then the last person, last but definitely not least, Ruthless Raven at Ruthless Raven 8. He's just on Twitter for Ravens Talk, of course. Best team in all of sports. Follow him, retweet him, like him, and that's it. Thank you guys so much. Please subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Twitter, like us on YouTube. Tell us how much we suck in the
check
comments.
us out on TikTok. We'll post highlights weekly, and
tell us how much we suck in the comments.
Let's go. Hit us up, man. Yeah,
of course.
Hit us up. Should we do emails or like you want to do emails?
Sure.
All right. So our email address is get ready for this one. fatnoodle222@gmail.com. No capitals. Hit us up with anything you want to say.
Of course.
You comment YouTube, Twitter. Hit us up. We don't have Instagram. We should work on that.
We have an Instagram. We just don't. We aren't so active on it.
Yeah. Okay.
You can follow us on
TikTok, YouTube. Hit us up. You can DM us, whatever. And all right.
Thank you so much for listening.
Peace out.